If you want to see my full review with driving impressions, check out the description box for a link to my 2021 Elantra review. But this is going to be a buyer's guide video talking about the trims, financing, leasing, kind of the best ways to get this vehicle, etc. So let's get started. Okay, trim levels. The best trim level, in my opinion, to get is the SEL with the convenience package and the premium package. Okay, and there's a couple of reasons for that. The base model Elantra is pretty decent. Okay, it actually offers a lot of safety features as standard. Starts at about $19,900, and you get 15-inch wheels with that model. So that Elantra will be the best riding Elantra that you can possibly get. So if that's important to you, well, there you go. But the vehicle already rides beautifully as is. I have the Limited to test out for you guys, and this has 17-inch wheels. So this already rides smooth as hell. You shouldn't really have any issues there. With the SEL, you're going to be getting the convenience package and the premium package as two extra options that you can tack on. Now with the convenience package, you actually get a lot for $900. You get the little heated seats, the heated mirrors, and a few other goodies. But with the premium package, that's an extra $2,100, and the convenience package already costs $900. So you get both. You're tacking on an extra $3,000, unfortunately. But with the premium package, the other thing you get is the Bose audio system, and that's pretty important. So that's a nice little upgrade over the standard audio system. So if that's important to you, well, there you go. Keep that in mind. That's the trim level that you have to get with the option package. You also get the little digital keys, a little highway assist, a few other little gimmicks there with the premium package. There's like this red paint job that costs an extra $500, and that's the paint job that you see here. It is a nice paint, but I don't think it's worth paying up $500 for it. Just go with the other standard colors. It's a compact car. Keep the costs low as much as possible. And that's pretty much it there. And the SEL, with all the little options I talked about, is going to run you about $24,000, maybe about $25,000 if you include in destination, freight charges, all that stuff. And then plus you got to tack on the dealer fees, taxes, and everything for your individual state. But let's just go by the MSRP prices for right now. Now let's talk about the N-Line and the Limited trim next. Let's first talk about the Limited, because that's the vehicle I'm sitting in here as a test vehicle for you guys. And as you see here, this is about $26,000 with freight and the optional red paint. So on average, this Limited trim is going to cost you an extra $1,500 on top of a SEL with the premium package. So what do you get here with the Limited trim? Mainly you get the leather seats here, this kind of synthetic leather seats, which is nice, but not really necessary. I think the cloth seats are just fine. And you get 3 additional little safety features, like 2 highway assistance packages and 1 little system for the backup camera, to where it'll alert you if there's a pedestrian or if there's an object, a bicycle, something like that coming by. So it'll kind of beep at you and warn you. So that's the 3 other safety features that you get, but it's not really necessary. You get so much standard that if you crash this, man, you have some issues. So, this car is already safe enough as is, so don't worry about that. And with the Limited trim, there's no other options. You already get basically everything. You got the heated seats, you got the Bose audio, you got all the extras. So that's something that you don't have to worry about. Now, there's another thing. So you got the 2 10.25-inch screens here for the gauge cluster and the infotainment. So it's kind of like this one-piece design. And the base model cars, like the SE, will get an 8-inch. Obviously, you got the Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. It's a good system. I already mentioned this in my review. It's very easy, definitely worth it. It looks good picture sharpness, and also you have a 64 light ambient lighting thing going on with this car. Again, more gimmicks, but I don't really think the Limited trim is worth it unless you're leasing and you just happen to get this at a great discount rate on a lease. So that's really the only way I would recommend the Limited. But here's another thing. There's the N-Line option as well, that trim level, and the N-Line is just about $1,000, a little over $1,000 cheaper to purchase than the Limited. But here's the thing that you have to keep in mind. That's with the manual transmission. Some people can't drive manual. You have to pay an extra $1,100 to get the dual clutch, the 7-speed dual clutch. So that's something to keep in mind, and that will bring the price closer to the Limited. But the N-Line, I have not driven it or tried it, and it comes with 18-inch wheels. I don't really know how that vehicle rides or performs or anything like that, but if you are going to go with an N-Line, you should take advantage of the cheaper price and the 6-speed manual. That's definitely the way to go. there. I will mention the hybrid here briefly because the hybrid is interesting, but I don't actually think it's worth it. The model that piqued my interest was the blue trim, which starts at a little over $23,000. And you get some nice features there. Like the hands-free kind of trunk release, push button start, things like that. Things that you naturally get with the base SEL trim. You kind of get that with the blue trim, but you still can't fold down the rear seats with that. You have to go up to a limited trim hybrid, which is going to be like $28,000. And the whole point of buying a hybrid is to save money. So the blue trim is definitely the way to go. It averages at like 54 mpgs. So here's the main reason why I don't recommend it. It's because the normal Elantra that you see here with the 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder, producing 147 horsepower, 132 pounds-feet of torque, this will actually get a little over 40 mpgs if you're mellow with the driving, okay? I've heard this from multiple Forte and Elantra owners. I think one person even said up to 50 mpgs, so it's ridiculous. That's why I love this powertrain combination so much. It is so efficient, and the CVT, don't be bothered by it. It reacts really well. Sure, it can be a little sluggish in the normal mode, but put it into the SEL with the convenience in the premium package. That way you get a lot of nice features, plus you can fold down the rear seats, and it really makes this car practical. Now let's go ahead and let's transition over into some of the financial aspects of this car. Okay, let's go ahead and let's talk about financing and leasing. So we kind of determine what the best models are. Now, what's the best ways to save money on this car? Okay, a couple of things. Leasing is definitely one of my more favorite ways of purchasing a vehicle, especially if you have good credit, because there's so much flexibility in a lease. You can buy it out at the end of the lease, or you can just trade it back in. If you God forbid, you total it or something, it's completely worthless. You can just trade it back in, not have to worry about the negative equity or anything like that. Or just trade it into somewhere like CarMax or any other dealership, and there you go. You're done with that car. You don't have to worry about, nicks, damages, scratches, whatever. You just trade it in and it's done and it's out of your life. But a lot of people still like the traditional financing route, so let's talk about it. There's a couple of little incentives that you can get. Now, keep in mind, these incentives do change month to month. So I'm making this video in July of 2021. And I mean, the basic kind of tips I'm going to tell you is going to, apply no matter what year or month it is. So currently what you're going to be getting is you can definitely get $500 off this car, bare minimum. That's definitely a discount that pretty much everybody can get. And then there's a couple of other things, like you get 0% financing for up to like 60 months. But you can also get $1,500 off this car. But then you'll have a APR rate of about 1.9%. So if you do the math, for 60 months, you finance like a $25,000 Elantra, you're pretty much going to be paying like $1,300 in interest. So your $1,500 discount, it's more like a $200 discount now. So something to keep in mind, that's how they always get you. They'll give you like a bigger discount and then they'll charge you interest. But you can't get the bigger discount and then combine it with the 0%. But here's the thing, you should try to negotiate more discounts on top of this vehicle. But with the whole pandemic pricing and the access to vehicles, the manufacturer discounts is probably all you're going to get. So one thing you could do with the $1,500 discount is, you could basically pay the car off whenever you want. So after like 6 months, you could technically just pay the car off and then get a nice big discount on the vehicle. But you can also just make a higher payment. You can also get a few other discounts, like $400 off if you're a new college grad, $500 off if you're like military or first responder, so you can take advantage of those things if that applies to you. And then that brings me into the lease. So leasing, I think Hyundai quotes this car at like $179 and like $2,899 down. Obviously, never put money down on the lease, but that's for a 36-month lease with 10,000 miles on it, and that's for an SE trim. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now, like I just said, never put money down on a lease. That's the whole point of having good credit, is so you don't have to put money down when you finance or lease a car. So what I did instead was I took the $2,899 and I divided that by 36 months, added that to the $179, and that gives you about $259 a month. And then you have to add on your taxes, your fees, all that crap. That's for an SC, and obviously that's without any discounts. Try and negotiate that down, or try to get a higher trim level vehicle for that price, like an SCL or like a limited, something like that. So that's definitely the way to go. Maybe look onto the Lease Hacker website, see what some people are getting now with the current price market. Okay, Lease Hacker is definitely a great resource to use. You can definitely learn a lot from that website. And thing with the hybrid trims is the monthly payment is like $209. You have to put about the same amount of money down. So even on a lease, the hybrid isn't making too much sense. So I would definitely skip the hybrid altogether. This car is really efficient as is. As a whole, let's kind of conclude this video here. I mean, Hyundai does seem to give you a lot of features as standard compared to the competitors, obviously, like the rivals, and they tend to undercut the competition. So it's really nice. It's a good little new car to take advantage of. Hyundai offers their legendary 10-year, like their decade-long warranty. So take advantage of that powertrain warranty as well. And make sure to buy from the most reputable Hyundai dealership in your area, the one with the most amount of reviews, the best customer service, all that good stuff. In my area, that seems to be Johnson Hyundai in Cary, North Carolina. That seems to be the best dealership. So something to keep in mind. Do the same for your area. You know, do your own research and find the best dealership for you. But if you want to see, like I mentioned, all of my driving impressions of this car, check out the review that I did, the full review. It'll be linked in the description box below. So thank you very much for watching this video. Take care and goodbye.